So as my birthday is almost a month away, I thought it would be really important to do a video just kind of reflecting as I navigate through my 20s. So I'm going to be 28 next month, the big 28. And I'm actually really excited. There was a period of time where I wasn't excited about my birthdays. I wasn't excited about aging, but I've overcome. And now I'm so excited to be turning 28 by God's grace. And I thought, yeah, let me share some reflections, some observations as I get closer to 30. And as I just kind of take this interesting journey that we call our 20s. So here we go. So one of the things that I've really learned across like my 20s and especially like in 27, so I'll be talking about my 20s and 27, is that you need to be introspective. You need to constantly reflect. You need to develop the muscle of self-awareness, and you also need to prioritize self-improvement. Those key things are what's going to set the foundation for you each time you age, each time you change careers, each time you enter into relationships or friendships or social contracts or whatever the case might be. You need to develop a very strong sense of self-awareness, reflection, and just introspection as well. And I think in your 20s, you have to do that. Otherwise, what you risk happening is you're not actually like growing. You're getting older, but you're not growing. And that's one of the big lessons I had to learn, because essentially it affects your decision making, how you view conflict even, how you view discourse, all of those things there. It starts with you. So that one was a big, I think my early 20s, I may have been a little less introspective, definitely self-aware, but a little bit less introspective. And that had consequences. So now in my reflection bag, completely. It is never too late to change your mind. People have this really big fear of like, oh, but I've been doing this for so long and I've invested so much into this, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a community. People are like, but I've been here for so long. Like, I can't imagine going in a different direction, change direction whilst you're in your 20s. Come closer. Change directions whilst you're in your 20s. I promise you, once I realized that this is the perfect time to pivot, to change, to explore new things, to just get out of my head about being stuck in places. Incredible. Generally in your 20s, and I know this is different for everyone, I'm speaking from my experience, this is one of the periods of your life, even if you listen to older people, if you listen to entrepreneurs, if you listen to people in different fields, they will tell you that your 20s is one of your low risk elements of your life. Like, you can make decisions now that, yeah, they'll have some consequences if you make some really bad ones, but your risk of loss is lower. And that's just based on circumstance. In many cases, some people are single, some people are without child, you've got a lot more flexibility, some people are still at home. All of those variables allow you to take more risks. So if you are sat down thinking, but I've done this for 4 years, like I don't want to start again, this is your best time to start again. And I'm no stranger to changing up the scene, changing up the situation, and just pivoting, because I believe that if I want to do something or if my interest takes me somewhere, I should follow it, because what you will risk happening, and I spoke about this on my TikTok, is if you decide that you're not going to make action, or you decide you're not going to put yourself and your feelings and your ambitions and dreams first, you're going to end up with bitterness and regret. Like, point blank, period. Sometimes when you're hearing people talk and you're hearing them complain and just be really negative about their overall experience, sometimes you can trace that back to the fact that they didn't take the opportunities when they were around, they didn't pivot, they didn't change, they didn't put themselves first, and now they're living a life of regret. And one thing I've committed, I'm not living a life of regret, and I'm not living a life of bitterness because I failed to just move with the times and move with my feelings. So this is your perfect time if you're thinking about a new job, if you're thinking about traveling, if you're thinking about making new friends, if you're dating, don't know about that like rodeo, but if you're choosing to do that, whatever the case might be, this is the time to take those risks and make those changes. Point blank, period. The next one I would say is that you're gonna have to decide to put your health first. And we always laugh about it, and I feel like my friends that are like close to their 30s or in their 30s, and my friends are like coming through at the 25 mark, we always joke, oh, I'm feeling a bit of back pain. Oh, I'm feeling a bit of knee pain. As funny as it is, it's not that funny. Like, you're going to have to prioritize your health today. And it's better that you do preventative things than having to do rehabilitation things. So it's better that you get ahead of it. You improve your cardiovascular endurance, you incorporate strength training, you have a balanced diet, you look at your nutrition and your supplements. It's better that you do that now than having to come out on the other end, not making those decisions and changes and having to like rehab yourself or get better. Why don't you just be better? That's the decision I made, because I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to the gym to do weightlifting and this is fun. But what about my health? What about my actual health? So look, the earlier you can do it, the better. Like, with what I know now and what I experience now, I really wish that I took my health a bit more seriously in my early 20s. It's not crazy now in terms of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, I just know that I've got to like be a bit more intentional and actually set up a routine like I discussed in my last video. But get ahead of the health game today, now. Do it. Find something that works for you. Find a coach that works for you. Find strategies and solutions that are going to help you be the healthiest version of yourself. I feel like in your 20s, you should really invest in having experiences. And especially because of the culture shift that we've had in the last 4 years of like primarily working from home, state of global affairs, and just like taking a more independent solo approach, sometimes we forget about living life. And I think one of the big commitments that I especially made the decision about end of last year is that I'm actually going to put myself out there and have experiences. This year I went to my first ever concert at 27 and I went to the Masego concert. It was so good. I don't know how I'm going to go to another concert, but what that shows me as well is that I really enjoy just experiencing things and being really present. And I've committed that I'm going to go for experiences. So if there's an event that I want to go to, I'm going to go to it. If there's something I'm observing that I want to be a part of, I'm going to be part of it. If there's a community that does something incredible, I'm going to show up. Towards the end of last year, midpoint, I think, I realized that I was in my house for upwards of 3 days at a time. No human contact, no outdoors kind of like anything. I was in my house like up to 3 days at a time. And I just thought, why am I treating my house like a prison? Because obviously when you do that, you're just like, you don't want to really stay at home. And I thought, okay, what are the things that I can do on a weekly basis that are going to allow me to meet new people, to engage in new experiences, challenge myself in the area of being uncomfortable, and just actually experience life. And that's how I ended up going to the jam nights more regularly. That's how I ended up meeting some people that I hold as good friends now. That's how I built out my skill of singing, and now I host and all of those interesting things there. So those experiences have been life-changing, and they've afforded me the opportunity to actually live and not just kind of mosey through life. So I'm really excited by the idea of just continuing to invest in experiences. And that's one of the things that's motivating me to work hard, if I'm being honest, because I'm like, cool, I know that I want to eventually visit my home country of Grenada at some point. I know that I want to be able to travel with my friends. I know that I want to be able to wake up and say, oh, I feel a bit stressed today, I'm going to go to the spa. I want to invest in those experiences and really be present with life and not just let life do me, but actually do life. So experiences. Even if that's going to the museum, going out with a friend, catching up for a coffee, going for a walk. Like, I've lived in my area for almost 18 months. You know, it was the first time I walked around my area the other day. I won't be doing it again, but I was just like 18 months. There's a car park in my house. I didn't even know there was a car park there. I said, oh, this is why all this light and noise occurs at nighttime. There's a car park. So those little things there, taking time to step out your comfort zone, is going to be game changing. Be present in your decision making. Now, this is coming from someone who is a little bit known for being irrational sometimes. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it's my health concoction, which is featuring the new Zag flavor. Check it out. But I've been known to like just make decisions. which has not been a bad thing. It's actually been a good thing. But as I'm getting older, I've had to sit and be present with my decision making. And that's important because at a certain point in your 20s, you will realize that every decision that you make is either going to better your future or cause hindrance to your future. That's the two options that you have. So when I was becoming more present with my decision making, it was exploring what the outcomes and consequences of my decision making could be. Does it make me better? Does it make me worse? Does it delay some of the goals and aspirations that I have, or does it take me there quicker? Being very present is going to allow you to maneuver and align. Now, I've not got it perfect, but I'm telling you, in the last maybe 18 months, there's been a substantial improvement in the things that I do and how I do it, because I'm very present in the decision-making process. Like, no one's like, how do I put this? I'm not just being irrational. I'm not just jumping off a cliff and hoping for the best. I'm actually like ordering my footsteps and thinking about, okay, what's the knock-on effect of this? How can I link this? And that's why I'm very, very like meticulous about planning and organizing things and writing things into mind maps, because I want to understand that if I do this, what are the possible outcomes? Especially as some of us spend our 20s trying to build. That's one of the things I'm trying to do at the moment. And I'll get into that on another video, because I want to talk about financing and budget, bills, responsibilities, and just money in general. But even those factors there, you need to be very present with your decision making. And to touch on the money point, like spending, yeah, I had to get really present with my idea of spending and my idea of purchasing things. Like, for example, one of the things now that I'm doing is I'm not buying into the whole, I see someone use a product and I'm jumping off like my sofa to go and get it immediately, because what you find is that you start hoarding. So I put myself in a little bit of a spending ban where it's like, I will finish all the products that I have in my house first. And when it's time to buy a new product, I will try the thing that I've seen and I'm interested in. But I won't just have like 3 different types of cleansers and 4 different types of body wash and 6 different types of body moisturizer. I'm not getting involved in that. Like, I want to be very present in my decision making of money, because, for example, if I continue to do that, I'm taking money from other areas of my life that I could really be pouring into to set up my future as well. So be present in your decision making. I promise you it's going to change your life. Don't just half-ass things. Like, get all the data points, get all the information so that you can make an informed decision. Now, I'm gonna reel it back in and let you know this is what I have for you today. I'm definitely going to try and do more of these navigating my 20s, because I wish that some of the things I've learned now, somebody would have told me, or I would have seen it somewhere. But such is life. I didn't see it, so here I am sharing it. And I hope you've all enjoyed. So if you've made it all the way to the end, see what I did there? Drop a brown heart in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and feels. Is there anything that you learned in your 20s that other people need to consider? Let's share it. Let's get everyone living their best 20s. And like, comment, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, and tell all your friends to check this out. Love you guys down, and I will see you in my next video.